Last week I hosted a 3D modeling competition, and it went really badly.
64 gigabytes of RAM?
So to cheer myself up, I decided to host a normal 3D modeling competition. The best model wins, and this time we're actually giving out good prizes. This whole event was organized and done through the Rodev's Discord server. It's this awesome community of game developers where you can network with other people, sell your 3D models, take commissions, put yourself up for hire, talk with other developers. It's also not just about modeling, there's like animation and scripting and VFX and sound design, and so many cool things. All of you guys should join it. It's completely free, so I left the invite link in the description. Now onto the modeling competition. This was a massive modeling competition. Everything, all the rules, all the constraints took months and months of planning. Yeah, me and the head admin put it together in like 10 minutes. So I picked the first theme that popped into my head. Medieval stuff, you know, King Arthur, and other castle stuff, I guess. Yeah, the competition was really simple. Just make a medieval themed 3D model, and then the best 3 models win juicy Robux! So the winners were already announced, the competition is over, and in this video I'm going to be going through every single submission, and if the person won, I'll explain exactly why they won, and if they didn't win, then I'll explain what they could have done better. Let's go. First submission was from this guy Beans. Unfortunately it didn't win because he was doing mostly building stuff, and unfortunately when you're competing with modelers using like Blender and other softwares, it's just difficult to make the same quality as them. But yeah, still really cool stuff. Next up was this guy Tiki, who made like an axe chopping a piece of bread in half. It's a cool concept. Honestly, it just needed color, some kind of textures on it, but yeah, the models were pretty good looking. Then Lomain made this low poly sword, and dude, I'm sorry, it looks so fake. Like I don't know why, but it genuinely just looks like a Google image. Ultimately, the quality was just a little bit too simple to win, but yeah, honestly, like the render is insane. It looks straight off of Google. The big T, someone left in a hurry. Honestly, it's a clean render. I think the lighting just had to be cleaned up a little bit, and then the bricks looked a little bit too copy and pasted, but yeah, the rest was pretty cool stuff. Then Titberto dropped this really sick looking sword. Yeah, he had it like textured and everything, and honestly, it's a good model. Like, it's a really good model, but just the winners made a slightly better sword. It's as simple as that. Then Error dropped another sword as well. It's also really cool, but unfortunately the HDRI in the background kind of covers up the model, and the render just wasn't that clean, but the model itself was pretty good. Then Family Potato made this really cool looking suit of armor. Honestly, the only reason why this one didn't place is because I think it just needed like a person in the armor. It just looked a little bit awkward with the armor like floating around by itself. And TA made this cool looking medieval bar. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be my excuse for half of these, but yeah, it's a good model, but the winners just did it a little bit better. Real Life did this cool little sword in the stone model. The textures on the hilt of the sword are amazing. But honestly, I think you should have just done the render in Blender with like a different background and foreground that wasn't just Roblox stuff. But yeah, the model was pretty cool looking. Oh, then Flinix almost placed. This one was so cool. Yeah, medieval house with like a little market stall. This is a good model, but I mean, I don't know what to tell you, the winners just did it slightly better. Needless to say, very good model. Gemstones made a crossbow, and man, this one was hard to justify not placing this one, but the model felt a little bit empty to me. Like, all the details are super clean, but it kind of felt like it was missing something. Like, it was just a little bit too simple. Darka made this really sick render of this medieval hallway, and even had an animation with it, with like all the stuff getting flown together. Like, it's so dope looking. But unfortunately, this one would have placed, but I can't judge it off of the animation because it is a modeling competition. I'm just judging everything based on the actual physical models in it, and they were like a little bit too simple. They were more of like prop models than actual game models. But yeah, dude, the animation is absolutely sick. It's just the models needed a little bit more detail. And we're on our first winner, Demon Wiz. I think this guy got second place, and yeah, just made this dope looking Elden Ring sword. You can see why I placed above the others. I mean, the quality is just amazing. Professionally textured as well. So yeah, good job, man. Congrats on winning. This is a very clean model. Sin City Cello made a low poly market. Yeah, I really like the model, but unfortunately the style just doesn't quite compete with like people using Adobe Substance Painter to texture their models. So yeah, clean stuff, but the competition was just crazy this time around. Oh, real. Dude, this okay, believe it or not, this guy didn't place. This is a very, very clean suit of armor. And yeah, I thought about this one for a long time because I almost want to give this one an honorable mention. Like, it's a really clean model, but what really threw me off, like, I know this is kind of a small thing, but just this cape in the middle of the whole thing, I felt like it covered up a huge chunk of the like golden details and stuff and was just really unnecessary. And then besides that, I do think the 3 that placed just had slightly better model quality. But yeah, this thing is so sick looking. Like, it was very close to placing. Then Allison's was really interesting. They made this cool little medieval hallway, obviously very, very high quality, and that's where I got kind of sus. This pattern in 3D software, this pattern is really, really, really difficult to make. That is like hours and hours of hard surface modeling, and people only had a few days for this competition. So, as much as a lot of people will disagree with me, I decline this model because I don't trust that it's actually original work. If it is original, then Allison, take that as a compliment. Your work is just that insane. But yeah, something about like all like the really, really minuscule details just everywhere. I mean, like, dude, look at the chains on the chandeliers. Yeah, something about this just doesn't seem original. Like, it's too good to have been made in just a few days. So I declined it for that reason. Then King did these medieval houses. Again, dope models, but I don't know, something about the render quality just felt a little bit off to me. I guess the best way I could word it is the quality and like the style of the render didn't match the style of the models. I honestly I think he would have been better off just doing like screenshots of a Blender viewport, but that's just my personal preference. The model is sick, but unfortunately it did not end up placing. Then we have Monkey6219 with this medieval well. So my thing with this one is the model itself is really good. Like, obviously, like the hard surface stuff, the topology looks fine, but the only thing that really threw me off was the textures. Because the UVs were completely stretched out in a lot of places, like on top of the well, then a little bit on like the edges of the wood. So the textures were the only thing for me, but other than that, yeah, very cool model. Then we have Mia, our first place winner, with this just insane medieval building. I mean, dude, like, take a look at the detail in this thing, because it looks kind of basic at first glance, but then you see the PBR textures on the walls, and like the gradient in the glow of the windows, then the absolute perfect topology, and like the way the wood interacts with each other. Like, the perfection in this model is very subtle, and it's very hard to spot if you're just looking at it. But guys, this is like almost as perfect as a Roblox model can get. Like, PBR textures, everything looks great, and the topology is just insane. So, congrats Mia, you won the competition. After that, we got Flux with some medieval weapons. And yeah, same thing as a lot of the others, they're dope looking, but I think the competition just made slightly better stuff. And then lastly we have Blackberry. He was our third place winner. I really wanted him to be first actually, because this cannon that he made is just insane. But unfortunately, everyone else that was voting decided to let Mia win instead. But third place is still pretty good. But yeah, dude, just take a look at all the detail on this thing. The way the chains like fall off and interact with each other, like the spring on the back, all the hooks and stuff, even the studs on the wheels of the cannon. I mean, it's just perfect. It's a very, very good 3D model. Yeah, and he even got it like nice and textured as well. So yeah, very, very good model, Blackberry. And I think, yeah, he was the last one. Yeah, so this was the, I don't know what you call it, medieval 3D modeling competition, whatever, from the RoDevs Discord server. Yeah, thank you to everyone that participated. And if you guys want to see more stuff like this, or check out, I mean, this is a fraction of their server. They have so many cool things in here that they do. So yeah, definitely go join with the link in the description and check out all the stuff that they have to offer. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you later.